Hey everyone! A lot of you have been struggling to sell your items, whether on the black market or in Royal Cities. You keep telling me that the market is full of undercutters, and your items just sit there without selling. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to sell every type of item, from low-tier gear to high-end Gucci loot, and reveal the market tricks that actually work. Stick with me till the end of the video, and you'll fully understand how Albion's market really works, and how to use it to your advantage. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to talk about royal markets in general, and the problems that come with them. If you take a look at the estimated value of any Tier 5 item, you'll notice it's extremely low compared to the actual crafting cost. Take leather shoes, for example. Their estimated market value is around 3,500 silver, but the real cost to craft them right now is over 6,500 silver. Why? Because of the price gap between sell orders and buy orders in royal cities, and in most cases, it keeps getting worse over time. Now, you might be thinking, so what? Why should I care? Well, let me tell you, it matters a lot. Most players who farm around the royals, whether it's group dungeons, solo dungeons, or even Avalonian roads, usually loot tons of tier 5 and 6 items. And when they go to sell that loot, they don't care about crafting costs like you do. They look at the estimated market value. So if they see that the market price is even slightly above the estimated value, they'll happily undercut you hard, even by thousands of silver. As long as they stay close to the estimated value, they're good, because remember, they got the item for free from loot. Sometimes they'll even sell directly to buy orders just to offload items quickly. For them, it's all profit. They don't lose anything. They usually only have 1 or 2 pieces, maybe 10 at most. But you, as a crafter, you're crafting in bulk, hundreds or even thousands of items. So losing 1,000 silver per item actually hurts you, not them. Make sense now? See the game they're playing? So what's the solution? So, should you try to compete with those loot dumpers? Absolutely not. You're not dealing with just 1 or 2 players. You're up against thousands doing the exact same thing every day. Trying to fight for a spot in that market is a losing battle, especially in low-tier items. Instead, the smart move is to avoid competing with them altogether. On top of that, you have to realize the market consumption rate in royal cities is extremely low. Sales move slowly, and most items just sit there. To give you some perspective, the entire royal market system combined only consumes around 10% of what the black market does daily. That means if you're crafting to sell or flipping items for profit, you're far better off targeting the black market, where demand is way higher and prices are more stable. But what if you're too afraid to risk traveling to Caerleon? Or maybe you just can't access the black market right now, and you still want to make silver in the royal cities. No problem. There's still a way to do it. The trick is simple. Focus on enchanted items, like 5.2, 5.3, 6.2, and so on. Your best bet is to always go for 0.2 and 0.3 enchantments, because those rarely drop as loot, which means you'll face less competition from looters. These enchantments are also highly used in ZVZs and PvP fights, especially by experienced players. So there's real demand even inside royal cities. But, of course, not everything is profitable. You still need to do your math before crafting. Secondly, try focusing on items that require artifacts, especially relic, Avalon, or crystal artifacts. Why? Because these artifacts almost never drop from loot, so you're only competing with other crafters. And no crafter is going to sell at a loss. Plus, these items are used heavily in high-end PvP and large-scale fights. So there's a steady demand even in royals. Third tip, never list all your items in one city. Always spread your listings across different royal markets and post them in small quantities. Once they sell, restock. That way, you don't flood the market or scare off buyers. And finally, and this is a big one, timing is everything. Pay attention to the ZVZ timers in each city. For example, if there's a big ZVZ event starting in Martlock at 2000, you should list your items around an hour before. This gives you a much higher chance of selling because players are actively gearing up at that time. Also, always go for high-quality gear. And whatever you do, never list normal quality items in Royals. They simply won't sell, even after a month.
All right, now let's move on to the real deal, the black market.
This is where things get serious, because the black market is the king of high-volume sales and real profits. When it comes to selling here, there are two main types of items. First, you've got low-tier flat gear, like Tier 5 and Tier 6 flat. These items have huge daily demand and get consumed by the system like crazy. We're talking hundreds or even thousands of pieces being bought every single day. Then, on the other side, you've got Gucci items, like Tier 7.2 gear, for example, the one I'm showing here. The demand on these is extremely low, maybe 2 or 3 units per day, if that. So should you treat these two the same way? Of course not. They're completely different beasts, and they require totally different strategies. Let's start with low-tier items, the ones with high demand. Naturally, because these items are consumed in huge quantities, their black market orders rise quickly. In just one cycle, you might see 50 to 70 items requested for a single piece of gear. So here's the trick. If you've got time, I highly recommend standing right next to the black market and watching these order cycles closely. As soon as an order climbs up and gets close to the current sell order price, I sell directly to the black market. Right then and there. No waiting, no undercutting, instant silver. These price spikes happen roughly every 15 to 20 minutes, depending on demand, which means in just 1 hour, you can sell 3 to 4 full batches, easily. It's anywhere from 200 to 280 units of Tier 5 gear per hour if you're paying attention and staying focused. Let's say you're busy or in a rush and don't have time to sit next to the black market. In that case, you'll need to place a sell order. But the real question is, how much should you list? Always start by checking the daily demand of the item, then calculate the average hourly consumption. Based on that, you can post a sell order that covers around 1 to 2 hours of expected demand, especially if you're only going to be away for 4 or 5 hours. For example, if Tier 5 gear is moving fast, you might post around 200 to 250 items at a time. It's totally normal that other players will undercut you, or someone might show up and sell directly to the black market, so you won't sell everything instantly. For instance, just last night I listed around 100 items before going to bed, and by morning 70 of them were sold. That's actually pretty solid. The rest, they'll probably sell later, maybe in a day or two, and honestly, that's fine by me. I'm not in a rush for silver. But if you are in a rush and want consistent liquidity, then I strongly recommend sticking to direct selling as your main method.
Now let's talk about Gucci items.
You know, those high-tier enchanted pieces like T7.2 gear and similar. For me personally, because the demand is so low, I always prefer direct selling to the black market when it comes to these types of items. Why? Because the black market might only request 2 or 3 units per day for that item. Now imagine this, if someone comes along and posts just 1 item below your sell order, that's it. Your item won't sell for the entire day. And if you decide to cancel your sell order to relist it, you'll instantly lose 2.5% in listing fees. And since Gucci items are expensive, that fee becomes at a big number. That's why my preferred method here is simple. I snipe rising buy orders. I keep an eye on the black market, and as soon as a buy order starts going up, I grab the opportunity and sell directly, locking in my profit and avoiding any tax loss or waiting. And finally, this last tip is one of the most important things you need to know. The black market doesn't consume items evenly throughout the day, or even from one day to the next. Demand rises and falls depending on how active the server is. For example, on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, the black market consumes way more items than usual. Why? Because player activity spikes, especially during Golden Castles and Outpost fights. You'll actually notice that during those events, the black market demand suddenly jumps up within the exact hours they're happening. So if you really want to maximize your profit, time your listings and your direct sales during high activity windows, not when the game is quiet and slow. This alone can make a massive difference in how fast your items sell and how much silver you make. So there you have it. That's everything you need to know about how to sell your items in Albion the smart way. Whether you're flipping flat tier 5s by the hundreds or sniping juicy buy orders on Gucci gear, now you know how the system works and how to make it work for you. Remember, it's not about dumping your loot and hoping for silver, it's about understanding demand, timing the market, and using the right strategy for the right item. If you found this video helpful, drop a like and share it with your guildmates, and don't forget to subscribe because I've got more advanced money-making guides coming your way very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.